So let's go with our definition. Microsoft has a definition, Capgemini, Gartner, everybody, IBM, everyone's got their own definition of enterprise architecture. Most of them run to 2 pages. And they're probably much more technically correct than ours, but they don't resonate with anybody who isn't a techo, who isn't a deep person who's used to working with it. They just don't resonate. Our definition is simple, okay? And it really resonates with business folk. Enterprise architecture is simply about alignment. It's about aligning technology design, people design, and that's critical. We often forget the fact that people have to operate in this system. Business design, so that together all 3, and only when they're working in unison can all 3 together deliver on business outcomes. So enterprise architecture is essentially just about aligning those 3 things and making sure they're aligned and aligned to the business intent so they can deliver on that business intent. And that's absolutely critical, and we'll see how that's driven all the way through our enterprise architecture framework, all the way through our approach. Everything is fundamentally about achieving that alignment to ensure they deliver on the outcomes the business wants. Why do we need architecture? I'm sure there's a few people who've seen this before and who'll know this one. This is a fairly self-serving story about enterprise architecture, but also a true one. I've been there. And for the first time in my life, I'm giving this presentation to Simon Hackett from Internode about a month ago. And he's the only other person I've run into who's actually been there. So on the slide, I've said, oh, been there, go that. Oh, sorry, that's kind of robbed my thunder. But if those of you who don't know the story, and I think at least Paul, you might be the only one, or Warren, I don't think you've heard it. The Sarah Winchester, the heiress to the Winchester rifle fortune, her grandfather invented Winchester rifles, so at this stage she was worth a vast fortune. Towards the end of her life went slightly batty, to be honest. Was completely convinced that anybody who had ever been shot by her grandfather's rifles, their ghosts were in the house trying to get her. And somehow, as part of her delusion, she also believed that if she continued to build the house and shift around the rooms, they wouldn't be able to find her. So as a consequence, she spent the last 38 years of her life with an army of builders inside the house, constantly reacting every morning as she woke up, saying, no, I want this done. Oh, no, I want that done. And changing her mind constantly. And shifting around everything and never having any constant plan. And obviously no architects working with her at all, no forward plan for the house. Now usually there's a certain level of recognition among some of the business executives when they're giving this, that they have self-awareness. They go, oh, crikey, that's what I do. Okay, but what was the outcome out of that? Well, $5.5 million later, in $1890, approximately $500 million in modern day money. She'd spent over the 37 years, a complete disaster, the house. It's fascinating to see. Mind you, if her business outcome was, her intent was to produce a very famous world tourist attraction, she probably is successful, but I doubt that's what she had in her mind, because it's a fascinating building to go and actually see. There's rooms that go nowhere, you can't see. There's a lovely bedroom you can go into, where the person lies down in the bed, they look up, and then there's a skylight up to the person's bed just above them. So you put the skylight through to another room for some reason. Staircases that go nowhere, rooms you can't get to, chimneys that are fireplaces with no chimneys. And my favorite of them all is that towards the tail end of it, the builders had finally figured out that she was never going to use any of this anyway. So it didn't matter whether it worked. The ideal job in some respects. It's almost like building an IT system knowing there's going to be no users, so it doesn't matter if it works. You can just do it for your own satisfaction. So there's this kitchen where the plumbing goes out of the bottom of the sink, goes left, and then just goes straight up to the roof, the waste pipe. But there was any chance that was going to work if you turned the sink on. But it didn't matter because she was never going to use it. Well, look, it's fairly obvious. I hope you get the point by now. We'd never do it to our homes. We wouldn't. You wouldn't decide to build a home this way and just keep reacting that way. We continue doing it to IT, expecting it to work. Well, you end up with what we call in IT the fur ball, the cat ball, a complete mess, IT systems IT systems equivalent of Winchester House. And then the business wondering why I can't change them anymore. Because they aren't built properly. You can't actually change them because there's band-aids holding them all together. They're all intertwined. They're all wired together. It's impossible to change anything. And they just keep behaving that way and expecting a different outcome. And I actually think beyond it, I think you can take the word of IT out of that, actually. Why do we continue doing it to business systems, our design of our business, irrespective of IT, and expecting it to work? Because there's the same problem tends to transcend into business design. And it's ad hoc, wild, and made up on the fly for each one with no consistent way and certainly no future plan for what the business should look like as an organization and how it should operate.